Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something straight. What if the only thing standing between the life you have and the life you deserve is your own voice? Not the haters, not the struggle, not the circumstances. Your voice, your words, your self-talk. See, some of you wake up every morning and talk to yourself like you're defeated before your feet even hit the ground. You look in the mirror and instead of speaking strength, you rehearse your weakness. Instead of blessing yourself, you curse your potential. But what if, for just 3 days, you'd flip the script? What if you talk to yourself like a woman who is already walking in favor, already standing in power, already chosen, already healed? 3 days, that's all I'm asking. 3 days to cancel the lies and speak like the blessed woman you were born to be. Because if you give me your ears, and more importantly, if you give yourself your own voice, you won't be the same woman by day 4. So stay with me. This might just be the speech that resets your whole life. The way you talk to yourself isn't just background noise. It's the blueprint for your life. Your words are not harmless. They carry power. They build or they break. And every single word you whisper in your own mind becomes a seed planted in the soil of your soul. You don't need anybody else to affirm your value when you've got the ability to speak it into yourself. That voice you hear all day long when no one's watching, when you're brushing your teeth, when you're lying in bed trying to fall asleep. That voice is either lifting you up or tearing you down. Most people think blessings are something that come from the outside, like someone's going to show up, tap you on the shoulder and say, "You've made it. Here's your reward." But that's not how it works. Blessings don't start around you, they start within you. And the moment you begin to talk to yourself like a blessed woman, like someone already walking in favor, already standing in purpose, that's the moment your entire atmosphere begins to shift. If you speak defeat, you'll walk in defeat. If you speak power, you'll start to carry yourself like someone who knows who she is. And let's be real, life is already loud. The world's already trying to tell you what you can't do, who you can't be, and what you'll never have. But that voice in your head, that's the loudest one. That's the one that determines whether you stay stuck or break through, whether you rise up or settle down, whether you fight or fold. Every time something good comes into your life, what do you say to yourself? Do you say, "I deserve this"? Or do you question it? Do you say, "This is my season"? Or do you whisper, "It won't last"? That's not just self-talk. That's a prophecy. And your life will follow your words. Your habits might shape your day, but your words shape your destiny. So if you really want to change your life, you have to start by changing the way you talk to yourself. You have to speak to yourself like someone who's already walking in victory, like someone who already knows her value, like someone who's already been delivered, healed, elevated. Even if your situation doesn't look like it, even if your bank account doesn't reflect it, even if your past tries to disqualify you, your voice has to speak your future before your feet ever get there. Because you can't walk into rooms designed for royalty if your inner voice is still speaking like a beggar. The way you talk to yourself teaches the world how to treat you. If you constantly downplay your gifts, the world will too. If you doubt your own voice, the world will talk over you. If you keep apologizing for your presence, don't be surprised when people act like you're invisible. But when you start talking to yourself like someone who's blessed, worthy, and powerful, you become undeniable. People feel that and they respond to that vibration because you're no longer waiting for validation. You've become your own evidence. It doesn't mean you won't struggle. It doesn't mean you won't have days when you question everything. But in those moments, that's when your voice matters the most. You can't always control what hits your life, but you can always control how you respond to it. And your first response starts in your head. That voice is your armor. That voice is your fuel. That voice is your reminder that even in the middle of chaos, you are still a woman of promise. You've got to wake up and say, today, I choose to speak like a woman who knows her worth. I'm not talking to myself like I'm a mistake. I'm not talking to myself like I'm broken. I'm talking to myself like I'm blessed, like I'm healed, like I'm chosen, like I belong here. That's not ego. That's identity. That's you recognizing who you were before the world told you otherwise. Every time you stand in front of the mirror, you have a choice. Rehearse your pain or repeat your power. Speak what broke you or speak what's building you. Feed your fear or feed your faith. What you say to yourself in those quiet moments is what shapes your confidence when you step out into the world. And let's not pretend like this is easy. It takes practice. It takes discipline. It takes catching that old voice trying to sneak in, telling you you're too late, too much, not enough, and replacing it with truth. Speaking against your own negativity like a warrior, saying, no, not today. I'm not dragging old doubt into this new season. I'm not giving air to the lies anymore. I'm walking in peace. I'm talking in power. Because there is no transformation without declaration. You can pray all you want, read all the books you want, listen to every motivational video you want, but until you start speaking over your own life with boldness and belief, nothing's going to change. The power is in your mouth. And if you use it right, you won't just feel better, you'll start living better. So for the next 3 days, talk to yourself like a blessed woman. Not like someone who's hoping to be blessed, but like someone who already is. Someone who knows she carries something special. Someone who understands her presence is a gift. Someone who refuses to shrink, settle, or silence her own power. Do it for 3 days. Let your words water the woman you're becoming. And by day 4, don't be surprised when the world starts treating you like the queen you've always been. Your words are the foundation, but your tone, the energy behind those words, is what makes the difference between speaking life and merely making noise. You can say, I'm strong, but if it's whispered through trembling lips and doubt-filled eyes, the message gets lost. But when you say it with fire, when you say it with belief, even if your knees are shaking, that tone becomes a declaration, and a declaration has power. It shifts the atmosphere not just around you, but inside of you. You ever notice how you speak to someone you love? You speak with care. You speak with encouragement. You speak with fire when they need strength and calm when they need peace. But somehow when it comes to yourself, that kindness goes missing. That strength gets muted. That belief gets buried under fear. And that's got to change, because the relationship you have with yourself sets the tone for every other relationship in your life. If you talk to yourself like a burden, you'll start to feel like one. If you talk to yourself like a problem, you'll show up like one. But when you talk to yourself like a blessing, like a woman who's chosen, like a woman with purpose and direction, your posture changes, your confidence rises, your decisions become sharper. You stop tolerating half love, half respect, and halfway living, because now you know who you are, and you speak like it. It's not just about the words. It's the delivery. Are you talking to yourself like a victim or like a victor? Are you rehearsing your failures or declaring your rise? Because tone carries intention. Tone tells the truth, even when the words are dressed up. If you keep saying, I'm okay, in a voice that's barely holding on, your spirit hears that and it starts adjusting, lowering, settling. But when you say, I got this, even through the tears, even through the pressure, that tone tells your soul, we're not giving up, we're pushing through. Tone is not just about being loud or soft, it's about being intentional. It's about matching your voice to your vision. If you see yourself healed, speak like it. If you see yourself successful, speak with the tone of a woman who's already touched it. If you want peace, speak with peace. If you want power, speak with boldness. This isn't fake it till you make it. It's faith it until you live it. Speak from where you're going, not where you've been. The brain is always listening, even when you're joking. That sarcastic, of course I messed up again, may seem harmless, but your mind is taking notes. Your spirit is absorbing it. And over time, that kind of talk becomes your identity. So you have to train yourself intentionally, consistently, to talk with the tone of a woman who is blessed, not broken, who is worthy, not wounded, who is whole, even when healing is still in progress. Start by checking how you speak about your day. Do you say, I'm tired, I'm overwhelmed, I'm behind before your feet even hit the floor? Or do you wake up and say, I've got breath in my body, purpose in my heart, and I'm walking in strength today? Your day listens to your tone. The energy you put out sets the rhythm. That's not just spiritual, that's psychological, that's physiological. Your nervous system, your brain chemistry, your mood, all of it responds to the way you talk to yourself. And when challenges come, and they will, your tone becomes your weapon. Because fear has a sound, doubt has a sound, so does confidence, so does hope. When you speak with a steady, grounded tone in the middle of chaos, you remind yourself, this storm does not define me. This problem is temporary. My voice still carries power, even in the dark. You don't need permission to speak that way. You don't need someone to co-sign your tone. You give yourself that authority. You are the narrator of your life, and the way you tell your story will either bind you or break you free. So stop echoing what the world said about you. Stop mimicking the voices that told you you're not enough. Start commanding your own life with a tone that reflects truth. And the truth is, you're already worthy, already called, already capable. You don't need to hustle for approval or wait for a moment to feel like you matter. You do matter. And when you start speaking like it with conviction, with consistency, your entire life starts to match that tone. There will be moments when it feels strange, when your old voice creeps in, when you feel silly for speaking strong, when everything feels weak. But that's the battle. That's the training ground. You don't get stronger by being silent. You get stronger by speaking, even if your voice shakes, especially when your voice shakes. Because the moment you speak like a blessed woman, the shift begins. So for the next 3 days, I challenge you. Don't just change your words, change your tone. Let every word drip with intention. Let your voice carry peace, power, and promise. Speak to yourself like you believe in your future. Like you're done apologizing for existing. Like you're not hoping to be enough. You already are. You'll be surprised what happens when your tone starts to reflect your truth. Your body will feel it. Your mind will rise to meet it. And your spirit, all your spirit will thank you, because finally it'll hear a voice that sounds like home, like strength, like freedom, like you. When you speak, you activate more than just sound. You activate belief. That's why what you say after I am matters more than you'll ever know. Those 2 words are not just a statement. They are a prophecy. They set the direction of your life, one sentence at a time. When you say I am tired, you give permission to your body to collapse. When you say I am broken, you teach your mind to stop looking for healing. But when you say I am powerful, I am rising, I am favored, you shift something in the unseen. You align your voice with your vision. And suddenly, the world begins to respond in ways you didn't expect. A blessed woman understands this. She understands the weight of her words. She doesn't speak recklessly because she knows her mouth is a tool, either for construction or destruction. That's why for the next 3 days, you have to be intentional. Speak like every sentence is a seed. Plant words that grow strength. Plant words that grow peace. Plant words that grow purpose. Because when you speak them long enough, consistently enough, even when the evidence doesn't match, your reality begins to rearrange itself to catch up with your voice. It's not magic. It's not some empty affirmation practice. It's discipline. It's direction. It's strategy. A warrior trains. A queen prepares. A blessed woman speaks what she needs to hear, even when her surroundings speak otherwise. She walks through the valley saying, I am whole. She stands in uncertainty and says, I am guided. She faced betrayal and still declares, I am worthy of love, because her identity is not up for negotiation. Her voice sets the boundaries of who she is. This is what separates the strong from the scattered, the focused from the fragile. Anybody can speak when things are easy, but it takes intention to speak life in a place that looks dead. It takes spiritual stamina to say, I am rising, when your whole world feels like it's falling. That's where the transformation happens, not in the comfort, but in the resistance. You don't wait until you feel strong to speak strength. You speak it, and then you begin to feel it. Some people will call it delusion. Let them mock what they don't understand. Because while they're waiting for external proof, you're building internal power. And sooner or later, the world will catch up to what your mouth already knows. The most dangerous woman is the one who stopped waiting for someone else to speak over her life. She took the mic back. She said, I'll speak over myself. I'll bless myself. I'll tell myself the truth. You were not created to just survive. You were built to thrive. You were not designed to be invisible, to shrink, to fit into spaces that insult your essence. So when you say, I am too much, know that you're dishonoring the fullness of who you are. Instead say, I am exactly enough for the life I'm called to live. That's not arrogance. That's accuracy. That's alignment. And the best part, you don't need permission. You don't need a room full of applause to validate your worth. You don't need a title, a follower count, or a platform. You need a voice. Your voice. Spoken with clarity. Spoken with love. Spoken with the quiet authority of someone who's been through enough to know, I didn't make it this far just to shrink now. So watch how you speak about yourself. Watch how you casually throw out phrases like, I'm always messing up, or I can't ever get it right. Those phrases become self-fulfilling. They teach your subconscious to expect failure. And your body? It obeys. But speak with precision. Say, I'm learning. Say, I'm adjusting. Say, I'm evolving. Now your mind looks for growth instead of defeat. Now your heart leans into progress instead of And don't just say these things when you're alone. Say them when life gets loud. When people underestimate you, when disappointment shows up. That's when your voice has to get louder. That's when your I am has to speak over what they said, over what they did, over what the past tried to label you. Because you are not your history. You are not your heartbreak. You are not your habits. You are your intention, and your words define your direction. Say it again, louder this time. I am blessed. I am guided. I am becoming everything I was created to be. Say it like your soul is listening, because it is. Say it like your future is waiting, because it is. Say it until your self-doubt backs down and your courage stands up. This is not just speech. It's strategy. This is not fantasy, it's formation. And I'm telling you, 3 days of this kind of talk can break years of silence. It can unlearn decades of damage. It can shift the way you see yourself. And once you see yourself differently, you move differently, you choose better, you rest deeper, you let go quicker, you stop settling, you stop explaining. Because now your words have built a foundation. And on that foundation, you rise. So speak wisely, speak powerfully, speak like you're not asking for the life you deserve. You're creating it with every word. That's the kind of woman you are. One who understands my voice is not noise. It is creation. It is healing. It is prophecy. And for the next 3 days and beyond, I choose to speak life. Let me tell you something powerful. You don't get peace by waiting for the storm to pass. You create peace in the middle of the storm. And the way you create it? Through the conversation you're having with yourself every single day. Because if your mind is at war, it doesn't matter how quiet the room is, you'll still feel chaos. But if your mind is steady, you can walk through the loudest pain and still have a calm spirit. A blessed woman knows how to speak stillness into her soul. She doesn't let her thoughts run wild and tear her down. She doesn't allow every emotion to build a home in her heart. She knows that thoughts will come, doubt, fear, insecurity, but she also knows she has the authority to speak back. You don't have to believe every thought that enters your mind. You don't have to entertain every voice that tries to make you question your worth. You get to choose which voice stays and which voice gets dismissed. Sometimes the loudest voice you hear is your own. That's why these 3 days matter. That's why speaking like a blessed woman isn't just motivation, it's protection. Because when you talk to yourself with peace, you build a shield against overthinking, against self-sabotage, against the lies that try to make a home in your head. There's already enough noise in this world telling you what you're not. You don't need to echo it. You need to counter it. You need to become the loudest advocate for your own peace. That means you talk to yourself with grace. You remind yourself, yes, I've been through it. Yes, I've made mistakes. But I'm not staying in guilt. I'm not living in shame. I'm moving forward. And here's the beauty. Peace isn't passive. It's a decision. Every morning you wake up and you decide, I won't let this world shake me. I won't let fear speak louder than my faith. I won't let anxiety write my story. I may feel the storm, but I am not the storm. I am grounded. I am whole. I am centered. And that doesn't mean you're ignoring reality. That doesn't mean you don't have problems. It means you choose to speak life in spite of them. You choose to tell yourself, I'm okay, even when I don't have it all figured out. I'm safe, even when life feels uncertain, because that's how peace is built. One thought, one sentence, one conversation at a time. You have to understand your brain is always listening. It takes every word you speak and turns it into instruction. So when you say, I'm tired of everything, your body starts to shut down. When you say, I can't handle this, your nervous system starts to panic. But when you say, I've got this, even if it feels like a whisper, your whole being starts to adjust. Your back straightens, your breath deepens, your mind shifts. You speak peace by choosing peace, even when your surroundings scream otherwise, and you do it consistently. Not once, not twice, but every time that inner chaos tries to rise up, you say, no, not today. I'm not feeding this panic. I'm not fueling this worry. I'm choosing calm, because the more you practice peace, the more it becomes your default. The more you train your mind to return to center instead of spiraling. And I know it's not easy, especially when you've been living in survival mode for so long, especially when your thoughts have been used to yelling, blaming, doubting. But this is the work. This is the shift. You don't wait until your mind is silent to speak peace. You speak it into the noise. You become the voice that breaks the cycle. You become the reminder your younger self needed, the calm your future self will thank you for. And here's the thing, nobody else can do this for you. People can support you, love you, guide you, but only you can choose your inner dialogue. Only you can rewire the script playing in your head. And if you want peace, if you want stillness, if you want power, you have to start with your words. So for the next 3 days, treat your inner world like sacred ground. Don't allow just any thought to enter. Don't allow chaos to camp out in your spirit. Guard it, water it, speak over it. Tell yourself the truth. I am not behind. I am not lost. I am exactly where I need to be to grow. Talk to yourself like someone who's already seen the other side of the mountain. Talk to yourself like someone who's been through enough to know peace isn't the absence of pressure. It's the presence of purpose. Speak with that energy, that maturity, that strength, and watch how the storm inside begins to quiet. Because that's what a blessed woman does. She doesn't just pray for peace. She speaks it. She walks in it. She wears it. She brings it into every room, every moment, every challenge. And it all starts with the words she chooses to say to herself. So speak peace. Breathe peace. Choose peace. And when your thoughts try to fight back, don't fold. Speak louder. Speak clearer. Remind your spirit, I am not broken. I am becoming. I am not overwhelmed. I am overcoming. This storm doesn't define me. This silence doesn't scare me. I am the calm within the chaos. 3 days. That's all it takes to begin shifting the atmosphere inside your soul. 3 days of choosing stillness over spirals. 3 days of building peace instead of panic. 3 days of treating your voice like medicine, not poison. Speak peace, live peace. Let me make this real clear to you. Your words are not just sounds, they're seeds. What you speak into your life, into your mind, into your heart, it grows, it takes root. It forms your reality. And when you start speaking over yourself like a blessed woman, when you start declaring your worth instead of questioning it, your life begins to shift in ways you never thought possible. The reason why speaking life works is because it goes beyond surface level motivation. It's not about hyping yourself up for a few hours. It's about reprogramming how you see yourself on a deep, foundational level. And the only way that happens is if you stop rehearsing what broke you. You've been through enough situations in your life where people tried to define you. They told you what you could and couldn't do. They labeled you based on your past, your pain, your setbacks, but now it's time for you to speak over yourself in a way that breaks every one of those chains, because the most dangerous lie isn't the one the world tells you. It's the one you keep repeating to yourself. You've got to stop speaking defeat before the day even begins. You wake up already telling yourself this is going to be a hard day, and then wonder why everything feels heavy. You look in the mirror and criticize every detail, then wonder why your confidence stays low. But what if, for just 3 days, you flip that script? What if, instead of tearing yourself down, you spoke with the authority of someone who finally knows who she is? You are not just a woman. You are a blessed woman. That means you carry favor. That means your steps are ordered. That means your value does not shrink because of a bad day, a broken relationship, or a missed opportunity. You're still chosen. You're still powerful. You're still becoming. And you've got to remind yourself of that daily, because life has a way of making you forget. Pain has a way of making you question. And if you're not careful, you'll start living beneath your purpose just because your inner voice keeps telling you you're not enough. You've got to take that voice back, reclaim it, rewire it. Start speaking over your day before it begins, before the chaos comes, before the enemy of doubt shows up. Declare who you are and what you will not tolerate. I will not live in fear today. I will not carry guilt that doesn't belong to me. I will not let past trauma have power over my future. I am walking in clarity. I am walking in strength. I am walking in peace. This isn't wishful thinking. This is warfare.